I am Loganathan from CSE department. I am working as assistant professor in CSE department. So my lecture topic is Introduction to Computer Architecture. So today we discuss our definition of computer, and then what is computer architecture, and then we discuss hardware, what is hardware and software, where we use, and then functional unit of a computers. Finally, we discuss basic operational concepts. So let us see one by one. So first, what is computer? So computer is a electronic device or electronic machines for storing or processing a data. So typically in binary form. So based on the instructions, the computer will perform arithmetic and logical operations. The instructions are stored in memory. First, they accept the input from the input unit and then process the data based on the instructions, and finally produce the output through output devices. We can also store the information in memory for future purpose. Next, what is computer architecture? The computer architecture follow the rules and methods that describes the functionality of computers and their design and an implementation of the computer systems. So the architecture, computer architecture, so detail explain about the functions of computer and then design and how to implement it of the systems. So in computer architecture, detailedly describe the structures, what are the peripheral devices are present inside the computer, how they are intercommunicated, how they are interconnected from one devices to another devices, and then how they transfer the data from one peripheral device to another peripheral devices. So these details are detailedly described in computer architecture. Computer architecture deals with the specification of the instruction set and also hardware units that implements the instructions. In computer, hardware consists of electronic circuits, displays, magnetic and optical storage media, and also communication base. So computer is a combination of hardware and software. So hardware is made up of electronic circuits. So there is an electronic circuit perform arithmetic and logical operations. In computer architecture, explain or detailedly describe how the hardware are designed or implemented. The next topic, functionalities of a computer. The computer can perform 5 major operations. So first operations, take the input from the input devices. The computer accepts any type of inputs. The input are transferred into binary form. Second one, store the data or instructions. So after getting the input from keyboard, the data are stored in the memory. So next operation, process the data and convert it to useful operations. The third step is to perform the operation by using the data, and then after perform the operation, the data will be again stored in the memory. The next operations, generate the output, and then the output is displayed in the monitor. Then finally, control all the above 4 steps. So these operations performed by control units. So control unit monitoring and control the remaining 4 units. That means storage, and process. So see the diagram. So give data to the computer can perform operations, and then finally I produce the output through monitor. So next, computer hardware and software. The computer consists of hardware and software because a computer made up of hardware and software. So computer hardware is a physical device, it's a physical part. So the physical part is designed by logical circuits. So components of the computer, such as what are the components in computer are monitors, keyboard, mouse, computer data storage, hard drive, system unit, that is graphics card, sound card, motherboards, chip. So these are the major hardware component in computers. See the diagram. So in this diagram, I represent a monitor. First one is a monitor. Second one is a modem. For communication, network communication purpose, we can use a modem. And then system output, and with CPU. Fourth one is a mouse, is a input device. Fifth one is a speaker, these are now the output device. And then sixth one is a printer, also output device. Seventh one is a keyboard, it's an input devices. So it's a whole thing is called as computer. So computer architecture is how the peripheral devices are interconnected, designed and implemented. So these details are detailedly described in computer architectures. In software, what is software? It's a collection of programs or instructions that instructs a computer to perform the arithmetic or logical operations. So based on the instruction, the computer will do the some operations. So there are mainly two types of software. So first one is system software. The system software that communicate with the hardware component. So the communicate with the hardware component. So based on the command, the hardware will do some operations. So example for system software is operating system, drivers, and then etc. So operating system is another example for system software. So operating system is communicated with all the peripheral devices, that is hardware. The next software type is application software. So application software, software interact with the users to perform the specific tasks. So next topic, computers classifications. So computers are generally classified into 5 types. The first one is personal computer. It's a single user computer. In this computer, they use microprocessor. So in this computer, we can entering the data through keyboard and display the output and storing the data. So we can only perform this kind of operations. We can perform simple operation. The next type is workstation computer. It is also a single user computer, but the memory size and performance is high compared to the personal computer. Here also use microprocessor. The memory size also increase. Memory size also increase compared to the previous one. The third one is mini computer. So in this mini computer, it support from 10 to 100 of users simultaneously. That means 10 to 100 of people simultaneously access the particular computer. This is possible in mini computer. So mini computer used in act as a server, used in banking sectors or business sectors. The mainframe. So mainframe is a multi-user computer. So more than 100 or thousands of users simultaneously access the mainframe. So these are the real-time mainframe is used in business areas, and then cloud, and then big data, and then so mainly we used in these kind of areas. The next supercomputer. So it's an extremely fast computer that can perform hundreds of millions of instructions per second. So in this type of computer used in research and development areas, and military, and etc. So next we discuss functional units of computer. So in computer have 5 functional units. So first unit is input unit, second is output unit, third is a memory unit, fourth one is arithmetic and logical unit, fifth one is a control unit. So first I give just overview of the functional units, and then go to the detailed descriptions. So first input unit give instruction to the CPU, give some input to the CPU. So based on the input, the control unit automatically generate the signals to perform the operations. So based on the input, so immediately go to the arithmetic logical unit. The logical unit perform addition or subtraction multiplications. So finally, the output stored in memory, or the output is displayed to the output is go to the output units. So each and every unit have different functionalities. So each unit are work independently and then simultaneously. So first unit, input unit. So computer accept the input through any input devices. So the inputs are converted into binary form. So input devices are keyboard. So majorly standard input devices is keyboard. So whenever the keyboard is pressed, the keyboard controller send the code to the CPU. That means data sent to the CPU. Example for input units are mouse, joystick, trackpad, light bin, digitizer, scanner, and etc. Memory unit is a storage area. We can store the data and also we can store the instruction in memory. And also we can store the result. So memory is commonly classified into 2 types. That is primary memory, secondary. So primary memory is called as main memory. Secondary memory is called as auxiliary memory. So what is primary memory? So primary memory is a semiconductor memory. that provide access at high speed compared to the secondary memory. So in this primary memory, you can store instruction and operand or currently executing or instruction and operands are stored in the primary memory. So main memories, that means primary memory is classified two types, ROM and RAM. So ROM is a read-only memory, RAM is random access memory. So these two types are used in primary memory. So ROM is a read-only memory. It will hold the system programs such as operating system programs and then compiler programs, drivers. So all the details are stored in ROM. RAM is a read-write memory. It also holds the current executing instructions and data. So both ROM and RAM are volatile memory. So what is volatile means? If you switch off the computer, automatically the data erased in ROM and RAM. So that's why you call it as ROM and RAM are volatile memory. At the same time, the primary memory cost is very expensive, and then storage wise is a contain less number of data. Then out of secondary memory is non-volatile memory. The data will not be erased after switch off the computers. It's a temporary storage. It's a permanent storage memory. The secondary storage memory size is high. They contain a large number of spaces compared to the primary memory. Cost is also very cheap. So these are the two memories used in two types of memory used in memory. The next unit is arithmetic and logical unit. So arithmetic and logical unit consists of necessary logical circuits. So at the ALU design with the help of logical circuits like adder, full adder, half adder, parallel adder, the comparator to perform arithmetic and logical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, comparison of two binary numbers, and then etc. So all the arithmetic operations, arithmetic logical operations performed in this unit. So after completing the computations, the output is stored in memory unit or displayed to the output unit or sent to the output unit. Next is output units. So after performing the computations, the result is go to the output unit. So standard output devices are video monitor, LCD, printer, floaters, etc. So these are the 5 units very important in computer. So input unit, output unit, memory unit, arithmetic logical unit, control units. And finally, control unit is a main unit for all. So it is a coordinator. In this unit, coordinate activities of all units by using control signals. The control unit generate the signals to perform data transfer and operations. So control unit give instruction to the all other units to perform the operations. So the control unit is called as coordinators. So the operation of the computer can summarize as follows. So first operations, a set of instruction called a program. So it's a program resides in the memory. So the instructions are stored in the memory. The CPU feeds those instructions sequentially one by one from the main memory. So first point, the instructions are stored in the main memory. If you need the instructions get from the memory sequentially, and then decode that instruction. After that, we can perform some specific operations. And then process the data. The result will be displayed to the output units. So all the activities pertaining to processing and data movement inside the computer machines are governed by control unit. So all these activities are monitoring, controlling the control units. So next topic, basic operational concepts of computing. The primary duty or objective of computer is to execute a program, a sequence of instructions. So based on the command, the instructions are executed in sequence, and then computation is performed. After computations, the result is stored in the computer. So main motive for the computer is to perform or execute the instruction sequence, and then process the data, and then after the computation, the result is stored in the memory for future reference, or it's into the outside world, that means through output devices. Here the instruction is called as instruction, means it's a command. The instructions are stored in the main memory. The instructions are consist of two parts, one for operation code, that is opcode, another for operands. So instruction have in computer architecture, instruction have four types. That means instruction, three types of instruction, two types of instruction, one type of instruction, and zero type of instructions. So I explain with one example. So I take one instruction, add LOCA, R. That means add is a operand. So the add is a opcode. LOCA is a location. RO is a register. Is a single instruction. They come under the two types of instructions. So in this instruction, we'll execute in three steps. First step, first the instruction fetch from the main memory. So add location of A, R0. So these instructions fetch from the main memory, and then go to the processor. So and then operand at LOC is fetched. That means operand is fetched, and then add to the current of RO. Second step is to get operand, and then operand is added to the top arm. So here RO is the register, LO is the location. So location and then R0 is added. Finally, the result sum is stored in the register 0. The final result stored in the register 0. So here they perform 3 steps. So first we fix the instruction from main memory and then add the 2 operand. So location plus R0 register. Then finally, and some value is stored in the R0 register. This is the block diagram of how to communicate or connection between the processor and the main memory. How the connection established between the processor and main memory. So main memory is another memory in computer. It's a primary memory. So main memory contains currently executing instructions. So here processor can interconnected with the main memory. The processor contains program counter, that is PC, instruction register IR, then general purpose registers, control unit, and then AL. So processor also have separate AL units. So now see the explanation for each and every part. The processor contains ALU, also control circuitry and many registers, that is general purpose register. It's a 32-bit architecture, means the processor contains 32 registers, n number of registers. So what is IR means? They hold the instruction that currently being executed. This instruction register hold the currently executing instructions. So control unit that will generate the timing signals that determine when a given action take places. So with the help of timing signal, so all other units perform the operations. Then program counter, that means PC, contains memory address of the next instruction. So what is the next instruction? The data is contained in program counter to fetch and execute. So during the execution of the current instruction, immediately program counter will be increased or update to the point to the next instructions. In processor, they have 2 registers, that is MER, MDR. MER memory address register, MDR is a memory data registers. So 2 register hold the address of the MER hold the address of the memory locations. Store the address of the current executing instructions. MDR, it will contain data. The next steps to executing the instruction. How the instructions are executed. So each and every instruction follow these 10 steps. So first step, the address of the first instruction gets loaded into the PC. So very beginning step is first step is the start from program counter. So the program counter hold the first executed instructions. Then content of second step. Content of program counter are transferred to the MER, and control unit issues read signal to memory. So the program counter transform to the, that means instruction date type transform to the memory address register, and also simultaneously control unit issue the timing signals to read the instruction from the memory. So after certain amount of time, the first instruction is read out from the memory. That means after getting the memory and placed into the memory address, which is memory data register. So next, the content of memory data register, the information is transformed to the instruction register. So what is the instruction register? It holds the currently executing instructions. At this point, it can be decoded and executed. That means instruction register, decode the instruction and then execute it. Next, fifth step. After getting the instruction register, that means instruction, which the operand from memory, and then transform into the processor. So after getting the operand and data, finally ALU operations can be performed. Then eighth step, if the result of this operation will be stored in the memory. So after completing the arithmetic operations, the result is stored in the memory. Then the result is sent to the memory address register. So with the help of memory address register, the data stored in the memory. Ninth step, the address of location where the result will be stored in memory. So that data present in memory address register. At the same time, after completing the current instruction executions, the program counter will be incremented, to point to the next instruction in the program. So what are the steps? First step, the program counter contain first instructions. That instructions are sent to the memory with the help of memory address instructions. The third step, the instructions are get from the memory. That instructions is stored to the instruction register. So after the instruction register, the instruction is decoded and then get operand from the memory. Operand it forwarded transferred to the ALU. So ALU perform arithmetic logical operations. They produce the output or result. The result is stored in the memory. The address also sent to the memory. So after completing the arithmetic logical operations, immediately the program counter update the status and point to the next instruction in the program. So, okay, thank you. So next video we discuss the instruction and instruction sequence. Thank you.